success of your document depends on how it looks and what it says. In designing print documents and websites, you need to project a positive, professional image. A report filled with nothing but thick paragraphs of type, with no visual cues to break them up or to make the information stand out, is sure to intimidate readers and make them turn away. This presentation will show you how to design professional-looking, reader-friendly documents. As you work through this presentation, make sure your documents work through the qualities of effective design listed here, compared to their counterparts in ineffective design. Before you begin designing a document, you need to know exactly what you are designing, for whom, and how. Think carefully about how your work will look on the page, and what you want to achieve, and what your resources are. Here are some questions to ask. First, who's your target audience? Will your readers be local residents or global customers? What do they have in common? Gender, location, educational level? You must consider how to reach and appeal to this group before you decide a look and feel for your document. Print size, style, and so forth should be selected based on the audience characteristics and needs. Second, what's the purpose of your document? Will you have to motivate readers to look at it? Use an eye-catching cover page, attractive colors, and short paragraphs. Or is your document required for coworkers and therefore subject to a house style? Are you designing a newsletter for a professional group? If so, you must comply with a set of guidelines about how, for example, your newsletter should be laid out. Third, how will your document be reproduced? Will it be produced by a professional printer, or is it an internal document that can be printed out and distributed? This will affect the number and types of colors you use and the type and size of the paper you select. Fourth, how will your document be distributed? Will it fit in a standard envelope? Will it need to be folded more than once? Do you need larger envelopes or a smaller page size? Will the document be read by more than one reader or more than once? If so, the paper will need to be sturdy. Fifth and finally, how much will it cost? Financial decisions are crucial in making design choices. Color printing can be much more expensive than standard black and white printing. If you use color, try to stick to one or two colors throughout to keep costs down. Now let's consider the ABCs of print document design. The basic features of print design are 1. Page layout, 2. Typography or type design, 3. Heads and subheads, 4. Graphics, and 5. Color. Page layout. Text and white space must be arranged pleasingly on the page of your document. Too much or too little of one or the other can jeopardize the reader's acceptance of your message. To design effective and attractive page layouts, pay attention to these 4 elements: white space, margins, line length, and columns. Typography. Typography consists of font, font size, font styles, justification, lists, and captions. The readability of your text is critical. Select a font that ensures your text is legible, attractive, functional, appropriate for your message, and complementary with accompanying graphics. Fonts are also characterized as serif, the short cross lines at the ends of some of the letters, or sans serif without those serifs. The most familiar fonts are the following 4: Times New Roman, Planto, sans serif, Helvetica, and Arial. Heads and subheads are brief descriptive phrases that signal starting points and major divisions in your document. They provide helpful road signs for readers charting through the course of your document. Heads divide or chunk your document into major parts, sections, or segments. Graphics are a critical element of your document design. Consider using appropriate graphics to reinforce your word-based content and context. Nothing can attract or detract more from your document design than color. It might be one of the most important tools you use to increase readability of a document. Color helps sell ideas up to 85% more effectively than black and white document counterparts. Color can help you organize written information and therefore enhance readability. Color visually breaks up long segments of text and ties important ideas together. Poor document design. What not to do. Up to this point, we've introduced various elements of effective document design. Now, in contrast, we'll look at what you need to avoid. Insufficient white space. Narrow margins and limited space between headings and text are classic mistakes. A lack of white space between paragraphs or heads or around the borders of a document can distract from your content and your message. Inappropriate line length. Excessively long lines are hard to read and signal to your audience that work is highly complex and unrewarding. Overly short lines, however, make your work seem incomplete and immature. Overuse of visuals. Too many visuals can crowd your pages. Establish a balance between text and visuals. Never use visuals just for decoration or to fill space. Mixed typefaces. The large number of fonts available in desktop publishing packages makes it easy to use too many of them. Be aware of this temptation, as the result often looks amateurish and disorganized. Don't use more than 2 type families on a page. Hard to read fonts for body copy. Some fonts, such as Avant Grande, may look great in headlines but are difficult to read in the text of your document. Small type and tight leading. Most typefaces work best for body copy when sized between 9 and 11 points. Leave line space leading between each line. Too few or no heads or subheads. Heads and subheads signal starting points or major divisions. Thus, they provide helpful landmarks for readers. Excessive spacing. Too much space distorts the document and its message. Leaving 3 or 4 spaces between consecutive lines of text signals to readers that your ideas might be lightweight or not well researched. Also, including too much white space around a visual or around borders of your text can call into question the overall professionalism of your work. Misuse capitals, boldface, and italics. It's my recommendation to simply avoid the use of capital letters, boldface type, or italics in your document design. It's also my recommendation to avoid using underlined text for the very same reasons. Not only will too many special effects make your work difficult to follow, but you'll also lose the dramatic impact those attributes can have when they're absolutely necessary to use. Now let's take a look at designing documents in review. The following 4 rules summarize the basic principles of effective document design. If you adhere to them, your work, online or print, will be professional looking. First, keep it simple. Second, be consistent. Third, make it clear. And fourth and finally, remember that less is always more.